Welcome to 100 Yards Football. Today we got an NFL game preview. It's the Thursday night game between the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. In breaking down the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons is our football insider, Mr. Logan Landers. So if you like the video, please come in and share it. I'm Vincent Turner. Mr. Landers, tell us what's going to happen on tomorrow night when the New England Patriots come into the Mercedes-Benz Superdome and play the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, Vincent, we were talking about before we just even went on air. If you're the Falcons, you got to do something this week because last week was just the lesser said about that, the better, I think. They got destroyed by the Dallas Cowboys last week, man, and 43-3. I don't know how you let that. I know the Falcons are in that rebuilding mode right now. They still have a decent season on hand. They're 4-5, so they're not the very bottom of the league. But, man, I thought they would put up at least a closer fight than that, let alone a blowout. And Matt Ryan didn't look great. The whole team just kind of looked off the whole night. I don't know what was going on, but nothing was clicking. They weren't able to get nothing on the board, nothing. They weren't able to stop Dak Prescott and crew. It just was a pitiful performance if you're the Atlanta Falcons. And this, I think, because I know when y'all did the game preview last week, you said that was a key point for the Cowboys to see how they're going to do. And if they won that game against the Falcons, and if they're going to turn their season around. Well, they did just that. And for me, this is for the Falcons. This is their turning point for me. This is their key moment because they got blown out last week. So, Arthur Smith, the new head coach, are you going to rally the troops this week against one of the greatest coaches in NFL history? Some might say the greatest coach in NFL history, Bill Belichick. It's your time to shine. Time to put up or shut up. Time to get all the naysayers, all the critics, and show that you got control of this Falcons team and that you can at least put up a good fight. And I'm not saying they have to win by 30 or anything, but as long as they get if they can get a win, that's phenomenal. But if they get a close game and prove that they are still a competitive team with the guys they got assembled right now, Kyle Pitts, Matt Ryan, A.J. Terrell on defense looking like a monster, then I think that there is still a little bit of glimmer of hope here if you're a Falcons fan. They're not out of it completely. They're still in the hunt for that wild card spot potentially, but they got to keep winning games. They got to get that momentum back on their side once again because last week was just an absolute heartbreaker if you are an Atlanta Falcons fan. So hopefully Matt Ryan, he knows this is a big game going up against some good competition. A.J. Terrell is going to be locking down defenders all night. Kyle Pitts looking to have another breakout performance. A little slow starting off, but, man, he's really came along quite nicely throughout the season. And if you're the Falcons, man, that defense has just got to get better and better because that you can't allow what happened last week when they gave up, 36 points or something at halftime last week. You can't have that. But let's talk about the Patriots. The New England Patriots have had, some people say it's a kind of surprising year. They have a 6-4 record right now, second in the AFC East. They've won 4 in a row. They beat down the Browns last week in another blowout that no one really saw coming, 45-7. And Mac Jones, he's looking like he's having a special season and that the Patriots made a wise decision drafting him and letting go of Cam Newton earlier this season and having Mac Jones be their guy of the future. He's thrown for over 2,000 yards this season, thrown for 13 touchdowns. He's looked really well. And, man, if he can keep this up, the Patriots, I know last season when they were trying to get everything back on track after Tom left and they were trying to get Mac drafted this past year, everyone was kind of questioning Coach Belichick, Vincent. Don't forget that. They were saying, it was Tom Brady who was the real head honcho, got them all the Super Bowl rings. But let's not forget, Coach Belichick has been around the game of football for a very long time, coached a lot of Hall of Famers, a lot of great up-and-coming prospects who he's made into Pro Bowl candidates, who's made into phenomenal careers, whether it's on offense or defense. And right now, it's looking like Mac Jones might be another name he can put in his cap for another great superstar player, potential Pro Bowl, if he can keep playing the way he's playing so far this year, leading the Patriots to a winning record and looking really good in that AFC East. So I think overall, if you're the Patriots, Mac Jones, just keep feeding the young man. He looked great against the Browns last week, almost 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. whenever he looks good, he looks like he is the guy for the future for that team. And out of Alabama, man, I mean, it's Alabama. It's a talent pool of the who's of the greatest of the greats. Coach Nick Saban. And Mac Jones got very lucky because, man, he was coached by Coach Saban in college, and now he went on to one of the greatest minds in the NFL with Coach Belichick. So he can't get much more knowledge under his cap than between those two guys combined. Hey, Stevenson last week for the Patriots also ran for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kind of a surprise. He looked really good too. The receiving core of Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers, Brandon Bolden, they're putting in good work. Hunter Henry, of course, the tight end, the big man, 2 touchdowns for him. And that Patriots, man, they're looking pretty solid. The defense, they only allowed 7 points to Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns last week. I didn't see that coming. And I like the Patriots, man. They have a lot of momentum on their side. And if you're the Falcons, you're on the complete opposite end of that. You have, all of your momentum got crushed last week. So if you're the Falcons, you got to come in this is your night. You got to come in and play some hard-nosed, grind them out football. We'll see what they can do. I know Cordero Patterson, they're, the guy who can do everything on the football field. We've seen this year. He's a little banged up. They don't have Calvin Ridley, of course. But I need Kyle Pitts and I need Matt Ryan, that combination that everyone has been salivating over since Pitts was drafted as one of the most lethal combinations in football. I need them to have a breakout performance. I need a lot of yards. I need some touchdowns from the young man. And I need, most importantly, the offense can be fine. But I need that Falcons defense to show up and show out. I need Coach Dean Pease, man. They got to get something figured out over there for that Falcons defense because it ain't looking too hot right now unless your name is A.J. Terrell on that defense, Grady Jarrett, and just a few more guys. But, man, there's a lot of guys on that Falcons team getting put on blast for that defense, Vincent. And they know that seat's getting a little hot at the end of the season. We're getting a little bit over halfway now, so they got something to play for. If you're the Patriots, you got momentum. You got a great winning streak. You beat the Browns last week. You got the Falcons who are reeling. And I think if I have to go with the winner in this one, I am going to go with the New England Patriots. I think the Falcons are going to put up a good fight, but I think the Patriots just have too much momentum. Coach Belichick, of course, you can never count him out. So if I had to pick a winner, I'm going to go with the New England Patriots in this one. I'm going to go New England 35 and the Atlanta Falcons 24. A little bit closer. I hope the Falcons can at least put some offense on the board. We've seen that they can have those moments where they can be explosive. It didn't happen at all last week. I hope they can at least kindle some of that and get it channeled into this upcoming game against the Patriots. And Vincent, like I said, I got the game preview. I got the scores down. So I need a song. I need a song to describe how this game is. And what better way than to go with a great band back in the day, Vince? I know you know them. It's a very famous band by the name of Boston. And it's More Than a Feeling. It is more than a feeling. When I hear that old song they used to play of Coach Belichick and company, I begin dreaming. So I see Marianne walking away. And that Marianne, that's going to be the Falcons. They're going to be walking away with an L, and it's all right. It's going to be a tough loss, but I think the Patriots getting the win in this one. It's going to be a great game. Hey, Falcons, if you're a fan out there, just keep grinding, man. They got some talent. It's not like they're a team full of scrubs. They got good guys. It's just you need a few more pieces, and the Falcons could be great in another season, but I just don't see it this year.
Well, I'm going to say my final words. Number one, the New England Patriots were very impressive last week over Cleveland, 45-7. And I want people out there to remember this, as you just brought up, Logan. Bill Belichick, don't count him out because he showed you what he can do if he gets somebody to run his offense. Mm-hmm. And, man, I'm going to be honest with you. Mac Jones, ever since he took over the starting job at the University of Alabama, I was very hesitant. I thought it was a system that he was playing in. Then coming to New England, I really still want to not give him credit to a certain extent. I still thought he wasn't as mobile in the pocket. But he is from the state of Florida, man. And last week, 19 of 23, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, though. 0 interceptions. And they beat a very good Cleveland Browns team that allegedly supposed to have a good quarterback in Baker Mayfield and allegedly supposed to have a good defense from Myles Garrett. So my thing about Mac Jones, roll tide, baby. But I'm going to call you the Sonny Crockett Miami Vice is going on in New England, and his name is Matt Jones. And then for the Atlanta Falcons, don't put it on Matt Ryan last week, man.
No.
He's the best player you have. Even though he had a 21.7 quarterback rating, 9 out of 21, 117 yards, 2 interceptions. But people, Falcons Nation, if you don't have Matt Jones right now, you will be in some serious trouble. See, this is what is wrong with the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the great Bobby Butler says as part of our platform. You can get all the toys on the outside, but the game is still where you need to win it at. And it goes back in time with football. You win the game on the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons' offensive line, I'm sorry, not efficient. The defensive line, not efficient. Defensively, they're 29th in interception rate. But this is the key part, and I want everybody to take home today as you see our preview the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. See, there's two things that happens in the National Football League. You got a quarterback that got to make plays in the passing game. In order to slow down a red-hot quarterback, a Tom Brady, an Aaron Rodgers, a Lamar Jackson, you got to be able to rush your passer. And the Falcons are last in sacks. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. I'm Vincent Turner here, 100 Yards Football. I'd like to say special thanks to my football insider, Mr. Logan Landers, that broke the game down very eloquently, and he told you the truth today. The Atlanta Falcons, this is your game of the year. Please come play tomorrow night. If you like the video, please come in and share it. We are 100 Yards Football. Be blessed.